What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video. And we talked enough about Mo Salah's contract situation. It's time to give the latest updates on the Sadio Mane and Naby Keïta contract situations, because remember that both Mane and Firmino's contract runs out the same time as Mo Salah's contract runs out, which is next summer, so the summer of 2023. So if you enjoy these updates videos, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news updates and the Champions League final and the season finale of the FIFA 22 Liverpool career mode is coming later today, so check back at around 6 p.m. Central European time. That's 5 p.m. for the UK time for that episode. I'm really looking forward to posting it. It has been an absolutely brilliant season with Liverpool. Kevin Campbell said that the signing of Luis Diaz could point to Liverpool maybe feeling a little bit more comfortable with the prospect of Mane leaving Liverpool, but I think that also depends on what happens with Mo Salah's contract. I don't see Liverpool keeping both like Salah, Mane and also Firmino beyond next summer, so I can see a scenario where one of them will leave maybe in the next year or so. And this is what Kevin Campbell said, who is, of course, you have to note that he used to be an Everton striker as well, so maybe it's not with a Liverpool heart that he's saying this. Of course, Liverpool would like to keep all of the front players, but they have just invested a lot of money in Luis Diaz. There are also players like Harvey Elliott who really need minutes. The way things look, they could survive Liverpool without Mane. It would be tough to lose him, though. It would be huge because he has been amazing for Liverpool. And Sadio Mane certainly wouldn't be irreplaceable for Liverpool, not like Mo Salah would, because Sadio Mane has been brilliant for Liverpool, but Diogo Jota is replicating Sadio Mane's numbers at the moment. I think Diogo Jota in an injury hit season, he scored 13 goals last season, he already has 20 goals this season. And Mane on average is a 20 goal a season forward, so Diogo Jota has already replaced Mane's numbers, but Mane still is having a great season. He scored as many goals this season as he scored last season, but last season he played 9 more games. So it's reasonable to expect Mane to also hit the 20 goal mark, and that would consider that I would consider a winger to hit 20 goals a successful season every season, in my opinion. And he already has 113 goals in 257 games, so as I said, that's 1 goal every 2 games. On average he's scoring around 20 goals a season, and I don't want Liverpool to lose Mane, but I think Mane is waiting on Liverpool to, of course, agree a contract with Salah, and then Mane's contract talks can begin as well. And it will depend, of course, on how long a contract Mane wants, what kind of wages he wants. Does he want as big wages as Mohamed Salah? Hopefully not. Now let me know, would you keep all 5 of the front players that Liverpool currently have beyond the next summer? I would certainly, for next season, keep all these front 5 and maybe give a new contract to Salah. And during the season, during next season even, we can still negotiate a contract with Mane and Bobby Firmino, but they are not as important as, of course, keeping Mo Salah. I think the one player that we could definitely lose is Bobby Firmino, even though I'm a huge fan of Firmino. It looks like he's now behind Diogo Jota in the pecking order, and for a bench player it doesn't really make sense to give him a big new bumper contract, because he's already playing from the bench in most games, Bobby Firmino. But I would definitely keep Salah and Mane if I was Liverpool. And Mane also scored 29 goals in 89 matches for Senegal, for the Senegal national team. So he's a Liverpool legend in my eyes. Even if he leaves next summer, he has won everything there is to win, apart from winning the World Cup with Senegal. He won the Premier League, the League Cup, the Champions League, the European Super Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup, and he could also win the FA Cup this season and maybe another Premier League or another Champions League trophy. And he also won the FA Cup of Nations with Senegal for the first time with his country, and that makes him a Senegal and a Liverpool legend in my eyes. So if I was Liverpool, I would extend the contracts of Salah and Mane, and maybe instead of Firmino bring in a young striker who can play on the wing as well, a Diogo Jota type of player, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what is your opinion in the comments below. And Paul Robinson, another pundit, former Tottenham goalkeeper, said, why do clubs let players go this late into their contracts if they want to keep them? He's talking about Naby Keïta's contract situation. That ship has probably sailed if no talks have taken place, because Naby Keïta's contract also expires in the summer of 2023. And let's be honest, it is not a deal that would break the bank and alter the wage structure. Naby Keïta doesn't want a big contract, a huge contract like Mo Salah. It would just be a contract extension. The fact that nothing has been done says to me that the ship has sailed and Naby Keïta is not getting a new contract. I wouldn't go as far as to say that the ship has sailed. I think Liverpool are just waiting for Naby Keïta to perform at a very high world-class level, and this season he has been definitely better than in the previous 2 seasons, where a lot of his injury problems prevented Naby Keïta from playing enough minutes in the Liverpool team. I mean, Naby Keïta is on course to have the most games in a season since he signed for Liverpool. In his first season he scored 3 goals in 33 matches. In the next season he scored 4 goals in 27 matches. Last season was the worst, only 16 games played. So 33 games, 27 games, then 16 games. So this was always a big season for Naby Keïta, and he's already on 27 games, scoring 3 goals. So this could be his most successful season where he plays the most games for Liverpool. Hopefully he can play around 35 games. And I think Naby Keïta is a brilliant player, and also he's only 27 years old. So I would give him like a 2-3 year contract extension, because you very rarely find players with Naby Keïta's skill set. Of course, the problem is always Naby Keïta is very injury prone. And Jose Enrique, former Liverpool left back, also asked the question, should Liverpool give Naby Keïta a new contract? He said, for me he has top qualities and he's injured for most of the season, every season, so I would try to bring someone in that is more likely to play more games, so who is more available and more durable. And to put his injury record into perspective, Naby Keïta through injury has missed 62 games for Liverpool, which is a lot. It's really a lot. And Fabinho, who joined in the same transfer window as Naby Keïta in 2018, he has only missed 26 games through injury. So almost the third amount that Naby Keïta missed, and half of them were down to one injury that Fabinho suffered in 2020. And that is the main concern when deciding whether to give Naby Keïta a new contract or not. As I said, this season he has been a lot more reliable as the previous 2 seasons, so I think Liverpool are waiting until the end of the season to see whether Naby Keïta gets injured again or not. But most of his injuries are knocks that keep him out for a couple of weeks. If he picked up a few long-term injuries, then it would be understandable, but it's hard not to call him an injury-prone player. With how Jurgen Klopp's midfield works, you can't be picking up knocks every other week, because you are not playing regularly and you don't get the rhythm that is necessary. And it's one of the hardest working midfield in the world, and the pressure to be fit is immense at Liverpool. There's no doubt that Jurgen Klopp has still faith in Naby Keïta. When he does play, he offers something different to Liverpool, something the likes of Henderson, Fabinho, James Milner and others can't really offer. But it's probably getting to a point where Liverpool will need to sign a world-class right-sided midfielder, because that is the only position that is not nailed on, in my opinion, because Henderson is sometimes great, sometimes not so great, and also he's about 30 years old. Curtis Jones probably still isn't ready to be a starter in the biggest games for Liverpool. Harvey Elliott is still just a teenager, so you can't expect Harvey Elliott to play every week. And the gap is there for Naby Keïta to take this place by the scruff of the neck and to reclaim it as his own. But so far he hasn't really done that. Is that because of these little knocks that Naby Keïta keeps picking up and he just can't get an extended run in the team? And yeah, it's a problem that Naby Keïta on average is playing around 25 games per season, whether the likes of Henderson and Fabinho are playing around 50 games or 45 games at least. on average every season. And Jose Enrique said this about Naby Keïta: I do think there is a place for him at Liverpool, but that place isn't in the starting lineup every single week or every single game, but it's him being a rotation player to help break the lines of teams who sit back and defend deep. I still stand by the fact that Liverpool need a world-class midfielder in the next transfer window to partner with Thiago and Fabinho. And with Liverpool being linked with the likes of Tchouaméni, of Lille, I think he plays for Lille, and Jude Bellingham of Dortmund, I believe we will complete a deal for someone in that position this summer. And if Naby Keïta is willing to stay for around £120,000 per week, then I would sign him up to a new deal, and I would hope that he can stay fit for Liverpool. But there is still a part of a player that we signed inside of this Naby Keïta, and he can have one season where he stays fit and refines his best form. Then he would be a massive asset for Jurgen Klopp. And remember, Naby Keïta was the best midfielder in the Bundesliga when Liverpool signed him for Leipzig, but since he came to Liverpool, as I said, he has been injury prone, and we haven't really seen the true highest potential of Naby Keïta. Also, the Italian news outlet Tutto Mercato is reporting that AC Milan are very close to signing Divock Origi on a 3-year contract. The reports have long linked Divock Origi with a switch to Italy and especially to AC Milan, because Origi's contract is running out, and he's only 26 years old, so he can give a good 4 or 5 years of service to AC Milan. And I quite like AC Milan. They have fallen massively from grace since the two Champions League finals that Liverpool and Milan played, and Liverpool have done a similar trajectory, but now AC Milan are back on top in the Serie A, and I really hope that they will win the Serie A, because it would just give something fresh, a new champion after many years of Juventus dominance, and now Inter also won the title last season. But it will be difficult for Liverpool to replace a player like Divock Origi, who always comes in and contributes as a substitute. He was the best substitute of the Jurgen Klopp era. So let me know, would you want to see Origi at AC Milan, or do you think Liverpool should have given him a new contract? I think that ship has sailed already out of the harbor. Origi is leaving in the summer, and he leaves as a Liverpool legend, a folklore. He's forever in Liverpool's history, for Liverpool folklore, and he's like a cult hero among Liverpool fans. So big Divock, I will salute you. I wish you all the best in Italy, and hopefully you can win the Serie A title with AC Milan as well. What a career that would be for Origi, to win the Premier League, the Champions League, and the Serie A Scudetto as well. That would be brilliant. And also, I would give a new contract to Naby Keïta. I really love him as a player. I love his style of play, and I think Liverpool need players like him who can break the lines, who are creative, who can score goals. Jamie Redknapp also said that he finds this title race pretty much impossible to call. I've got this feeling Liverpool-Tottenham in May will be significant. Can Jurgen Klopp's squad navigate that one without a problem? That might be the match which poses them a major problem. The lucky thing is it's at Anfield, but the way Tottenham are going, they are the most informed team in the Premier League apart from Liverpool and Manchester City. And I think that if Liverpool can win that would put massive pressure on Man City as well, because Man City see that game probably is where Liverpool might drop points. Newcastle away also is going to be a tough one, because under Eddie Howe they are a completely different team as well. Nigel de Jong, also the Dutch pundit who used to play I think for Man City in the Premier League, but correct me if I'm wrong, he criticized Fabinho for his role in Man City's opening goal, and I can see where he's coming from. He said it was a lucky deflection, that's true. Sometimes you need a bit of luck when you shoot from outside the box, but Fabinho was complaining to the referee instead of looking at De Bruyne and stopping his run. But this is too easy. As a defensive midfielder, this can't happen. You have to make sure that he can't pass you on the edge of the box. Of course, sometimes you need a little bit of luck. It was a deflection and Man City were 1-0 up, and they deserved it, and in the first half they were the better team, but overall the draw was the fair result, I think. And also, I agree with Danny Murphy, who is saying that the neutrals, who are not Liverpool or Man City fans, and who also don't have a direct rivalry with any of the two teams going for the title, they should want Liverpool to win the title, because Man City are buying ready-made players. Liverpool are buying players from mid-table team or even relegated teams. Andy Robertson came from relegated Hull City, Wijnaldum came from relegated Newcastle, and Shaqiri came from relegated Stoke, and I could go on and on and on. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the youth academy player, Curtis Jones, youth academy player, Harvey Elliott, Liverpool signed him as a 16-year-old. So Liverpool have a lot of players that they have grown into world-class players. And I mean, Virgil van Dijk came from Southampton, just like Sadio Mane. Mo Salah came from Roma. Bobby Firmino came from Hoffenheim. So Liverpool are making world-class players, and they have, on a moderate budget compared to Manchester City's insane budget, they have made one of the best teams in the world under the Jurgen Klopp's coaching. And neutrals should support this model more than what Man City are doing, which is basically signing every world-class player for £50 million. And yes, Guardiola is doing a magnificent job. They make even those world-class players even better. But Guardiola couldn't do what probably Liverpool are doing, signing players from mid-table clubs and molding them into a super team. I don't think Guardiola could do that. And also, it's pretty boring and tedious if one team dominates a league. If Man City win their third league title in 4 seasons, it will be pretty boring for the neutral fans, and you would want variance. You would want each season a different team wins the title in the Premier League, and the neutrals should support Liverpool, but probably a lot of people hate Liverpool in the UK and also abroad, so maybe more people support Man City in this title race because they don't have a direct rivalry with Manchester City. But yeah, let me know what do you think about this in the comments below, and thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, see you later, good night.